Welcome back, everybody, to the Board YouTube channel. It's time for your Monday pick and roll live stream here for March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. We got a pretty big NBA slate to work with today and a few picks already queued up to showcase throughout the stream today. So if you're ready to go, make sure you do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Every weekday morning, we're live right here on the Board YouTube channel, presented by the FanDuel Sportsbook, to go through the NBA slate, dish out free picks, and then react to your bets and answer your questions in the chat at the Q&A at the end of the stream. So we're loaded with content today. You want to be on board for the rest of the season, especially after it's been such a good year so far, and it was a winning week on the channel as well. Unfortunately, a losing Friday. We recap after every show. We recap the previous show's picks. For this one, we did have a winning week despite the losing Friday. Okongwu went over on his points plus rebounds. Jokic hooks us on his points, unfortunately, but Devin Booker does clear on assists, up 1.4 units on the week. Nothing that's going to, change the world, but hey, if you do 1.4 units per week, you're going to have a really good year. So we'll take it at 8.9% ROI, and we will move forward. Pips, you're shaking your head. You're upset about something here.
Yeah, of course, I'm upset about Jokic. Fuck, man. Like, we are betting Jokic under 27.5 at home against Lakers without Doncic, without LeBron. The spread is 16.5 closed, and Jokic goes over in the last minute of the game to tie the game with 2+1. It was 2+1 and 1 with 40 seconds left to tie the game when they are 60. Like, we never get any help with blowouts on our unders, and we only take unders when the spread is really high. Even the Clippers and Hawks was a blowout game, but in that case it was a blowout, and Okongwu played for like 7 fourth quarter minutes and went over. Like, we are not getting most unders. Always, like, one of the biggest thing for me is like 15.5 spread or like something in that range. And okay, blowout helps us like 20% of the time probably, and we never get that help on unders. It's just variance, of course, but yeah, hate to lose Jokic like this.
Yeah, definitely tough one there, but we'll look to get it better this week. Look to have a good week here. Again, make sure you hit the like button to get us started, and we're going to fire away here. We're going to start off with the Detroit Pistons game. They're at New Orleans, and Pips, you've got two selections for this game. Walk us through what they are.
Yeah, we are going to the first one is Jalen Duren. Lately been cooking. So we are going to go to his points and rebounds over 25.5. Widely available at that number, but the prices are all over the place. I will say bet up to -125, but you have -115, -110s widely available on this. Insane form lately, as I said. We'll only exclude the matchups against number 1 and number 2 defense in the league, which is Oklahoma City Thunder and Orlando Magic. And then we get this last 16 games with 27 or more minutes not playing Thunder or Magic, over in 15 out of 16, averaging 29.8 points and rebounds. Matchups absolutely amazing. He scores most of his points put back in transition. Pelicans ranked 29th in both of these ways of his scoring. Most of his points at the rim, they are also ranked 29th. So they are ranked second worst at almost every way during scores and by rebounds. They are also allowing third most rebounds and the most to opposing centers. So absolutely amazing matchup, like all over the place. By looking at this form and hit rate, absolutely amazing. One of the best spots we can have. Similar players, Kessler just put 19. Jarrett Allen had 16. Like they are covering this in 6 out of the 9 this season. So yeah. Also the spread for this is 7. Pistons are away from home. Pelicans should be kind of healthy tonight. So yeah, absolutely love this spot for Jalen Duren as our first official pick.
And not the only bet from this game. What is the second play from this game?
Second play, we are going to Tobias Harris over 14.5 points. Also, like just looking at the last, I don't know how many games. Let's look at the last 17 in this instance since 30th of January, when like no filters applied, when he's playing between 28 and 38 minutes, zero filters applied. He's just in a great form, and it's not a huge blowout. He usually gets 34 minutes. That's his standard rotation. He even covered this against great defensive teams like Thunder last game, had 18 points. They had 15 against the Golden State, 16 against Boston, 20 against the Clippers. Those are one of the best defensive teams in the league, and he just kept scoring. In a game, I do see correlation because I watched these games. Stayed under against the Hawks and the Wizards. Those were the games where uh, Kate Cunningham was getting single coverage against poor pick and roll ball handler defense, and the ball just didn't go enough to the Tobias Harris because Duran and Kate pick and roll was cooking. But I do see a lot of pressure for Kate in this one. As you can see, Pelicans are only good at defending pick and roll ball handlers, so they put heavy pressure on the ball, and then Tobias Harris should have some slightly higher usage in this one. Pelicans allow the most from the corners. That's 20% of Tobias Harris points. Another 30% comes at the rim, where they are ranked as 29th. And also ranked third and second worst at defending spot up and transition, where most of his points are coming from. Similar player by position, wings are killing this line against the Pelicans, which makes complete sense since they are putting a ton of pressure on guards while having terrible inside interior defense. So another great matchup. This is widely available at -105, -110. So great prices out there. And locking in the second bet.
So for this one, I'm seeing mostly -120 for Tobias Harris for points. So
Yeah,
we'll
I'm
have
okay.
we'll play
Yeah,
that.
-120 is.
Yeah, a bunch of spots have -120, but it is also a better play in some other places as
Is
well for
this
this one.
his last comment in the chat sarcasm or
No, you don't think Jokic is a good defender? Is he
no?
not?
No.
This year he's been a very good team defender.
He is an intelligent player, so he kind of puts. I will like depends on what you are looking for. If like he is good at the part of
He's
defense where he's not
absolutely
playing.
not a negative.
Yeah, if you need to account rebounding. So yeah, for bigs, but I will say like let's do it like this. He is a big, and that's most important player on the court. And
Yeah.
if your five is average or below average in defense, which Jokic is, then you have a huge problem. I've put it like that. He is good in lanes and has good hands with steals. Rim protection, uh, and like now that he's putting so much volume on offense, he's been disastrous on defense more often than not. Like if you look at the games against the Wizards, people will say like, okay, this is Wizards. Or like he doesn't need to try. They lost the game. Like he was horrible. I will rate his defense in that game as an F minus. Like he was disastrous, and that this is happening more often than not this season. So I would say like data has Jokic as a slightly positive defender, and I completely see where that's coming from. Absolutely amazing rebounder, one of the goated defensive rebounders in the history of the NBA. Great at boxing out, and great with deflections in lanes because he plays aggressive deep pick and roll coverage. Everything else, he's awful at everything else.
I no, as a team defender, some like very good at coordinating everybody individually, like one on one, not the best defender. Could have conceded that. Like rim protection, not very good there, but he makes up for it in so many other aspects. I think he makes that Nuggets defense better.
Better than what? Than who? Like who is starting five at the playoff team, that's he better on defense. So, like,
On a playoff team.
yeah,
Let's see. um, New York.
yeah,
That was easy.
yeah. But
Um, Pacers. I'd rather have him than Turner.
I don't know. Like that's a
Brooke Lopez these days. I don't
Jokic,
know.
is still better.
Hawks.
Yeah.
I Hawks. I guess not Okongwu, but Capella maybe.
Kongo is the opposite of Jokic. Like he has low IQ and low
Yeah, and yeah,
positioning, but
he is the
everything else
opposite.
is
You're
kind.
right.
Yeah, he's kind
Um,
of good at everything else. Yeah.
Magic. I think you can make a case for Wendell Carter. Obviously not Bam. Bulls. Definitely take him
Yeah,
over
or
Vucevic.
Vucevic.
Definitely
Yeah,
take him over Şengün. I don't know. I think there's a lot of teams I can list
oh
here
yeah, I'm not taking him over Şengün.
on defense.
Similar. Şengün is really good this season, but he's undersized, so that's where Jokic maybe has like an edge. But this season, Şengün has been amazing on defense.
All right. I don't want to spend too long on this, but
Yeah,
here's we are disagreeing here. Let us know
I
in the
would
chat
also
what you
disagree on
think here.
probably. Yeah, I mean, like if you look at the rim defense, Jokic in drop coverage and Brook Lopez in drop coverage, Brook Lopez is better. But if you play on the level, of course, Jokic is then better. So
Yeah.
the West is kind of like it's uh, nowhere even close to being better than any almost starter. Now that AD is gone from the Lakers, maybe, but like Draymond Green, Zubac, even Zach Edey, Jaren Jackson Jr., Gobert, like
Yeah,
everyone is better.
The West is definitely more competitive in this
He's
position.
better than Nick Richards, probably. That's
Definitely, I would definitely take him on defense over Nick Richards.
yeah. So he's like
Anyways,
average. I would say average. Average at best.
let
Yeah.
us know in the chat what you think on this discussion here. But we'll move on to go through the rest of the slate here. Go into the FanDuel odds screen for all of the games as we normally do. First game up on top here is the Miami Heat against the New York Knicks. The Knicks are favored by 7.5. Miami in a bit of a free fall. All of a sudden, they've lost 7 games in a row. They are 9th in the East. What is happening to this team?
Yeah, dude. They are not. What's happening? Let's bring our hero of the channel, which is named Tyler Hero or Tyler Zero.
The zero.
He kind of, as I said, like when we last talked about like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah,
when I
with
said
prop bomb.
yeah, and I said he will tank the numbers. And looking at post All Star numbers for Tyler Hero Zero, he is shooting 30% from three, 43% from the field, 54% through shooting. I don't run many victory laps, but with Tyler Hero going back to his career averages, they are just being shit. So they kind of he held them above the water in the first part of the season when he shot unbelievable from the field. Like he had like 40% from threes on high volume before, which does quite a lot for this Miami team. Now when he just back to his averages, team is unable to win. Even with Adebayo uptick lately, yeah, Wiggins don't think moves the needle for them. Actually, I would say maybe like Davion Mitchell is there like being most consistent player lately, which is huge red flag. Yeah, I mean he's not like looking at post All Star numbers for Davion Mitchell. He's shooting 53% from three, not shooting a ton, but he's been their best defensive player. He's putting the numbers there, like
Yeah.
so yeah. So he's doing his part. Duncan Robinson and Hero are not. Adebayo is kind of mid on offense, and losing Jovic was huge because I think he was one of their best players. So yeah, playing Burke starting it in 2025 is absolutely hilarious.
On the game, anything you like for this one?
hate this game. Could see an under hitting. What's the total for the points?
210.5.
Yeah, that's everyone bet that stuff under, so it's right there. So, uh, yeah, without Brunson, this is a very much unpredictable matchup. So I don't know.
All right, before we go further, shout outs to our presenting sponsor, the FanDuel Sportsbook, making the show possible this season and the home of live betting on the NBA. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook, and when the game tips off, the NBA action is just beginning. So even if you missed the first few minutes of the game or want to bet on a fourth quarter comeback, you can make your picks from the first whistle until the final buzzer. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. Whoever you want to play, now is the perfect time to join because new FanDuel customers get started with $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/board to join today or visit the link that's in the description on YouTube or on your favorite podcast platform. That's FanDuel.com/board. If you want to type it in as well for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA, but must be 21 plus and present in select states for Kansas affiliation with Kansas Star Casino or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only, $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bet, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Moving down the screen here, next up, we've got the Indiana Pacers against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wolves improving as the season is going on. And look, they're not too far out of a really good spot in the West. They're 3.5 games out of second, which is also in seventh place for them. But they are slowly starting to catch up to some teams and putting it together. They've won 8 games in a row. What do you attribute this success for the Wolves to, Pips? Why do you think this is happening?
Zero good teams beat in that stretch. Maybe one decent in even Nuggets. They won against the Suns, 76ers, Hornets, Heat, Spurs, Wembley, Denver, Orlando, and Utah Jazz.
It did
They
beat
were,
OKC, I guess, before the win streak. But yes, the win streak,
yeah,
looking at
they
it,
lost to the OKC, then they beat OKC.
a
Yeah,
lot of winnable teams, or a lot of
yeah, but
beatable teams here.
yeah, but in the meantime, they lost to the Lakers and Utah,
Yeah.
Houston. So I will say, like they are being playing better, but just came with the health. Like
Yeah.
Randall's back, Gobert is back, Dante DiVincenzo is back, and now suddenly they have a team. Like it's Edwards, Conley, Nicky Alexander Walker, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, Gobert, Naz Reid, and Dante DiVincenzo. That's 8. That's a good playoff rotation.
Yeah.
Like they don't have any like outside of these players, but good 8-player rotation. If they stay healthy, they can beat anyone on the West. Not favorites, but they can compete with everyone. So yeah.
Yep. Agreed there. Anything this game you're looking at? Anything you're considering?
Yeah, that's think everyone could be a rest. Think this is a rest spot for the Pacers. Siakam is already out, and we have questionable. Think Halliburton and Turner. So yeah, I think this could be a rest spot for the yeah. So yeah, Pascal Siakam out, Halliburton, Nesmith, Turner questionable. So this
Yeah.
could be a rest spot for the Pacers. So I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see. Halliburton's been dealing with back issues. We'll see if he ends up featuring. But yeah, you're right. Could be just one they throw away near the end of the season, given how many people are on the list. Okay, we'll go to the next game then. We've got a very, very large spread here. One of the aggressive tanking teams away at the Rockets in the Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, they've just been losing. They actually won their last game. I'll say that. Quentin Grimes is forcing them to win some games. Probably a spot where they can get him in this week because they've got the Rockets tonight and the Thunder on Wednesday. Yeah, how do you how do you see this one going for the Rockets?
We win 6 in a row. We blown out teams like 76ers,
Yeah,
29 win against the Pelicans, 37 against the Dallas.
yep.
I think we can do it again. So
Yeah,
20
I think so
plus
too.
should be easy. Now we have Fred back to kind of a low usage. Fred VanVleet is one of the better players to have in this league when he's playing, just like taking wide open threes and
Yeah,
creating some on offense, securing the ball, which is huge for this team. Shengun post All Star break playing really good. Eason healthy. We are even doing this missing our probably the best player this season, which is Evan Thompson. So yeah, I think we are going to cruise in this one. No bets, just no bets. This is a blowout.
yeah. Makes sense for that one there. Big spread. Next up, the Bulls against the Jazz. The Jazz, by the way, have caught the Washington Wizards in the tank race. It would have seemed inconceivable to catch the Wizards, but the Jazz have done just that. If you want to see, like, I know the Raptors are bad with it, with tanking and stuff, but if you want to see the most ridiculous tanking, it's the Utah Jazz that are doing it, and they're 5.5 point underdogs at home to the Bulls, who have been not like playing amazingly, but they're winning games. Kobe White has been fantastic in the last month or so. Anything for you in this game?
Yeah, we are doing some game parlay in this one.
Okay,
Uh, we are betting Vucevic and Trey Jones. Vucevic on points 15 plus, and Trey Jones on assist 6 plus.
okay. Trey Jones 6+ assists. Vucevic 15 plus points plus 113. Is that what we're going to go with here?
Yeah.
All right.
Uh, the numbers for Trey Jones are great lately. I'll first show his numbers. He kind of had difficult matchups for assist. All these teams are like below average on assist, allowed assist. Last game, no Gide, no Gide, no Dosunmu. Last two games, 13 and 15 potential assists, even though the matchups weren't great. Even with Gide against the Pacers, he had 8. So he's kind of there, like starting point guard. And we know what kind of player Trey Jones is, like pass first, uh, defensive. Oh, I kind of lost there. Pass first guard that's looking to create and play pick and rolls, and now he has Vucevic as a partner, and I think that connection should work really well tonight. He's in an absolutely amazing matchup against Utah Jazz, who allows second most assists in the league and the most to the guards. Uh, yeah, the guards are cooking. 10 of 13 are over. Similar players. So also, he assists most at above the break three. That's where Utah Jazz allows the most. Uh, yeah, just betting on a pick and roll game between Trey Jones and Nikola Vucevic on assist wise. He even hit this against Rockets, who allowed the least assist. Had 15 potential in the last game. Playing big minutes, 34, 36, 33 last three. Just an amazing spot for Trey Jones assist. And then we go to the Vucevic. Uh, Points when this season, when he is playing 28 to 34 minutes, he should be on 32 minutes rotation now that he came back from the injury. Last game against the Houston played 30. Uh, so when he's playing teams who are not top 10 in defending his position, points allowed to his position, he is over this line, even like 15 and a half line, scored 16 plus in 19 of 22 games this season, including 23 against the same Utah Jazz team. So, yeah, that's one thing. Second thing, or third thing, I would say for this matchup is Kessler should be out for this one, and he's
Yeah.
by far their best rim protector. So, if he goes against Filipowski, Vucevic should eat in this matchup. Like this is a like prime time spot. He came back and scored like 15 in against the Houston Rockets, who are playing like the best defense, one of the best defensive teams. So Kyle Filipowski, or I don't know who is even their backup five, that should be easy for Vucevic. And yeah, just love the connection. It's very much correlated. I think at least half the assist of Jones will go to the Vucevic. Could see this game. Plus money on this is great spot for us.
Yeah, Kessler played yesterday, so they've been resting him. I'm also going to assume he's not playing today, but it may have been made official already. Anyways,
Yeah, the thing from the chat, so someone said that Collins closed over Vucevic. That's just not true. Yeah, I can show you. Like when this is shown, I'll just go one step further and just show you guys that you can see Zach Collins played some minutes because they were on a run, but then he left and Vucevic came in to close the game last 5 minutes. So Vucevic played 16 minutes in the first quarter of half and then 14 minutes in the second because bench had some crazy run, and then Zach Collins got some extended minutes in the fourth, but Vucevic still closed the game for the Bulls. So yeah, he closed the game.
So there we go. That is our third official pick of the day. Nikola Vucevic, 15 plus points. Trey Jones, 6+ assists on the SGP. All right, a few more games to go through here. Getting into the West Coast portion of the slate, we've got the Memphis Grizzlies up next here against the Sacramento Kings. Kings favored by 2.5 in this one. Still trying to vie for some better positioning in the West. They're a little bit off the pace of the top 8. The Grizzlies tied for second in the West and should be an interesting game here. How do you think this will go?
Yeah, I wanted to have a bet for this one so badly, but then ended up struggling to find one. Yeah, try to looking at something because like this game is just 250 points on the slate, and so many people will go over. You just need to pick the right spots, and I don't know, like what's the best spot to go. Like tough one. Also, I've seen the Sabonis re-injuring his hamstring news all over the place. Then he put off the injury report. I don't know what to do with this. Is he healthy? Is he not? I have no clue. On the side of the Memphis, there is no Ja Morant. Looking kind of at Luke Kennard, who should play a ton of minutes, like 30, in a great matchup. But let me see games when he played with Desmond Bain, and yeah, this this looks like amazing win rate. But then you have a game against the Kings in there, and he scored 11. Would be a hook on this line. But when he get 26 minutes without Morant, with Bain and Jaren Jackson Jr., he is over this line in 7 out of 11, averaging 15 points. Absolutely great matchup for spot up, for above the break threes. So I don't know. I'm kind of split on this one. So yeah, maybe a pass on this one. Could go to check. Last game he played 29 minutes, so need to see some rotation for that game. If he played 29 minutes in a huge blowout without playing, yeah, he left the game with 4 minutes left, so he was on pace to play 32 minutes. I need to check something else. That game had just a second. That game had Santi Aldama out, who is also out. Yeah. I don't know how sure I am of his 30 minutes tonight.
I like when you do these on the fly.
Yeah, that's just
you're a deep focus.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good spot. We have 3 bets so far, right?
Yeah.
What's on 3s are minus Let me just check. The same thing for threes. No Morant, Jaren, and Desmond playing 24 plus minutes. He's actually hit this in only, yeah, spot up matchup when he's playing about these. Yeah, I'll stay away from this one. Unfortunately,
All right.
yeah, we
Almost
can.
almost got there. We're gonna jump ahead here. Let's go to the last game on the slate because I know you do have a bet in this game. The San Antonio Spurs are visiting the Los Angeles Lakers. Which player are you targeting in this one?
Luka Doncic over 8.5 assists in this one.
And plus 100 is available. A lot of spots for this one.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone should be able to get plus 100 here.
yeah. Uh, I'll just go through some numbers. So this is when we look at the last 7 games for Luka Doncic assists. Uh, I will need to add that last 3 games were 3 games where he played without LeBron. Against the Nets, he had 19 potential assists and ended up with 12 assists. Then against the Suns, he had 23 potential assists, which is season high, and he ended up only with 8 assists, even though most assists were dunks. So the team shot like 2 from 15 on his passes, like crazy variants on the side. I don't think he ever had in his career 23 years or more potential assists and didn't cover this line. Crazy weird game against the Bucks, which ended up with like 11 potential assists and only 3 converting. That's crazy. I don't even know
We
what happened in that game.
we had him in that game, 7.5,
Yeah, yeah,
and
and he
he had
scored
45 points.
Yeah, it seems to me like single coverage. I didn't watch the game, so I don't
Agreed.
know. But yeah, also one game that was against the Pelicans. LeBron was playing, but Reeves was out. He ended up with 20 potential assists and 15 assists. The thing with this matchup, so like when he's this game against Boston is also crazy. Like they all love the third least assist, so also single coverage games. Let's look at the games when he's playing teams like last 4 games as a Laker. When he's playing teams who are above average assist, who are outside top 12, he had 20, 20, 19, and 23 potential assists. Huge numbers. And I think books are kind of blind spot here because he had 8 in the last game, but they don't see 23 potential assists, which is huge. So I will just without LeBron, he's in that range. So when you look at Luka this season, when he gets 16 to 23 potential assists, as I said, 20, 20, 19, and 23, last 4 with Lakers. Some without Luka, some without LeBron, some without Reeves. Makes it kind of expected range, 16 to 23. He's over this line in 10 out of 12 this season. If you go even further and take a look at the last season when he had 16, between 16 and 23, he was over in 26 out of 30 games, averaging 11 assists on this range. And the best thing about this, since Wemby injury, the Spurs allows the most assists in the league by far, which makes sense. And they're kind of collapsing a ton, which helps Luka to get easy assist. They play also at higher pace, helps get Luka assist. They don't have rim protection, helps Luka get the assist. So yeah, I just think like very much great spot for Luka, and the bookies are, in my opinion, off on this one.
So over 8.5 assists at plus money for Luka Doncic is the 4th play of the game today. All right, let's keep moving through the rest of the slate before we get to the questions. I see all the questions. Thank you for sending them in. We'll react to the bets in just a moment here. Up next is the Golden State Warriors, who have won, I think they've won 6 in a row. They've won 7 in a row, sorry. They're playing the Denver Nuggets, who are currently tied for second in the West as well, alongside some other teams. What do you think of this one?
No bets are almost available. Only Steph and Jokic up to the slate, so can't do much with
All right.
this one, unfortunately. Yeah, because they are questionable. So Like Steph questionable and Nikola questionable kind of ruins everything.
So speaking of not a lot of lines available, the Suns are hosting the Raptors, and the Raptors, nobody knows what they're going to do on a night-to-night basis. Had a win against the Blazers, completely just gave it away because they're tanking yesterday. Some people don't like it, but that's the way the NBA is. So we never know who's going to play or how long they're going to play for the Raptors. Uh, I'm going to assume you're going to avoid this game completely.
Yeah, kind of sucks. Like you are Canadian and this is your team, and this is the team I hate the most. So I know kind of don't feel like trashing them all over the place.
You can trash him, man.
Yeah, I
Fine.
know. Like, but yeah, they're
You don't,
absolutely
you don't like the tank
horrible.
methods?
I mean, sure, but like, be more consistent with it. At least, like some games you have like Jacob not returning in the fourth if it's a close game. Some games it's a close game, then he returns. Then they have plays like 25 minutes and 17. Then Barnes, like okay, you are trying to lose, but you still won so many of these games, and then you are kind of fucked. Like you are trying to think unsuccessfully.
Yeah.
Like what's the thing here?
Well,
Like
yesterday
you are,
was very successful.
yeah. That you kind of managed to you were up 15 the entire game and then managed to lose.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say like successful, but look at the standings and
Oh, I
that's
know. The Raptors have won 6 of their last 9 now, and it would have been
yeah.
7 of 9, I think, if they'd won
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah. It's so you kind of embarrassing yourself. I would say like you are doing all these
Definitely.
shenanigans to be like 6-3 over the last 9. Like fuck,
Definitely.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
and when you add that I lost almost every bet on Raptors entire season, oh, and every bet was a like good read on the game, and then some fucking shit happened with
yeah.
coaching and rotations.
Darko's
I
a
had
weird guy.
last two games were like I bet on under on Jacob, so in he stayed under and then came back in the fourth. As expected, he won't play the fourth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then
Yesterday, they also
I
ran,
had
and we didn't see, they ran a play for Pirtle to attempt the 7th 3 of his career, which he made. First play of the
yeah,
game, corner 3 for Yak. Fourth quarter, Pirtle had a steal at his own basket, went coast to coast for a dunk like a point guard. It was crazy, man.
yeah, and the bet before that I had quickly over 15 and a half, like 15 and a half points. I don't know how many points, but he was on pace and then he didn't play in the fourth. Like fuck you guys. Like that's
I
it.
always say on the show, like, I have no idea what Darko's thinking. I don't know if people think I just don't know what's going on with this team. No, I know exactly what's going on. I don't know what's going on, but and I know that. Like Darko, like there was matches this season where like Darko should double him today. Darko should play single coverage today. And then they don't, and they get obliterated in some matchups.
I would
Like,
say I would have more success with like let's think what they should do and then do opposite.
yeah.
And I
I,
will say I will have more success with it. It's
Like there was one game
100%.
they were like triple teaming Giannis, and then a week later they played him straight up with Scotty Barnes single coverage. Like it's just they're different every
Yeah.
day. So
Best
no,
way
no
to
bets.
bet on the Raptors is do not bet on the Raptors. Like they're
Well,
coming into Tyler Hero range for me, like as an entire team.
fourth quarters. If you're watching live, guys, and you suspect they will pull their starters, there are some interesting spots live, I think, for the Raptors. But also, you don't really know if sometimes Barnes will close the game, sometimes he won't. So there always is the guessing game with the
Yeah.
Raptors. But we'll go to the last game up here. The Wizards, who are +6 against the Blazers. Blazers, a team that beat the Raptors yesterday, so second night of a back-to-back for them. Wizards have relinquished their bottom spot in the standings with 2 wins in a row against the Nuggets and the Pistons. So some impressive wins. But what do you think about this one here?
The ugly game. Ugly game. Wizards kind of nailed the draft last 2 years. I think Bilal and Keishan George and Bob Carrington are
Local ball
will
is very good, and
yeah,
they reached for him a little bit. It's working out for sure.
yeah. Alex Sar, I don't know. Like everyone is just going nuts without it scoring 30 against Jokic. If you look at the Jokic defense in that game, he let him score
That was
all
a
the
really
time.
bad Jokic game. That one I'm not going to
Yeah.
defend.
He was even worse against the Lakers, I would say. The game we lost him on points, it was complete Jokic fault that he kept them in the game. He
Right.
he he allowed like he was one of the best defensive rebounder of all time, and Lakers without bigs had 11 offensive rebounds in the first half. They were just doing it like everything inside, like horrible. Like I don't know, maybe he's just tired now. He's carrying this team on offense such an insane load, and it's tough to play both sides. We know that for every star player ever that had that kind of productivity.
Right.
You remember years. I especially remember Harden in like in his prime. Like he was gone on defense, even though when he tries, he's actually decent on defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've seen from LeBron this season. In the first part, he was horrible on defense, putting great numbers. So all the players that have an insane usage, it's difficult to play defense. So
Yeah.
yeah, betting wise, I don't think there is much here for me. We have 4 bets, kind of low our spots. Yeah.
All right. We're good with our spots, 4 bets, but how about the chat? The chat maybe wants to load up a little bit more. Let's answer some of the questions. There's a bunch, so I
Yeah.
encourage you to be brief where you can with these, especially for Monday. Maybe just know I go to the Hammer HQ, the office after this. So Carl Anthony Towns,
Need the I always need that episode release so I can have something to listen to on my way to the work and going
yes,
home. Like that.
that's why we posted at 8 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday. So it's for the people commuting to work. It's for you. It's like in the afternoon though. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
on the way home. But
An hour
yeah,
before the show. Yeah.
yeah, and there is a circles off guest this week. We have a sharp guy coming Thursday, so it will be an interesting episode. Though what I really enjoyed the last Thursday episode
Yeah.
with Joey Knish, the Q&A. I
I
thought that
know
was
it,
great.
it was confusing that it was such an enjoyable episode, but it was like he was like but I don't know what's the word, but like it was like like a real conversation, like with two
Yeah.
guys that know what
Well,
they're
they're
doing.
two
It
guys
was
who know the ins and outs of betting, who are good
yeah,
friends. Joey Knish, really good storyteller, so it all clicked with the
yeah,
questions as well. Everything
yeah.
was great. So if you haven't watched last week's Circles Off episodes, I encourage you to do so. And 2 more good ones coming this week, I think. On to the bets. We have Towns under 25.5 points to start, -110.
Yeah. I understand this, and I'm not in favor of betting this. We've seen this season. I think it was like in the season, but I think Towns had 40 game against the Miami. So this is like the only favor of this is like he can get in foul trouble. Uh, he can definitely cover this against the Miami Heat without Brunson. This was his line for most of the season with Brunson playing. Now without Brunson, they need to go to him at a ton.
Okay. Next up, Kevin Herter over 13.5 points, -120.
Great matchup for Kevin. Without Gide, without the Sunmu Lavin traded, I think he could be up for 34 minutes in this spot. Should be a good bet.
Tari Eason over 13.5 points at -118.
Honestly, if I wasn't so sure in a blowout, I would make this an official bet. But the only reason I'm not doing it is blowout concern. But overall, they won 37 against the Dallas, and he played 30 minutes. So maybe he's like proof, bulletproof
Blowout
against
proof.
blowout proof. Yeah.
Matthew Wood asked about Desmond Bain over 13.5 rebounds plus assists at -106.
Yeah, I can see them sending 2 on the ball against him. He'll be primarily playmaker probably. Decent number without John Morant. Rebounds, I don't know. Assists should be good overall. A lean over, nothing crazy.
We'll stick to the same game. We have Jaren Jackson Jr. over on his PRA 32.5 minus 125.
Don't think I seen that number. Let me just check. It's just a second. Memphis, Jalen
Yeah,
Jackson Jr.
it's widely at 32.5. In fact,
Okay, I mean,
better prices.
yeah. So without Ja Morant and 28 plus minutes, he averaged 39.2 points, rebounds, and assists. Rebounds and assists. Yeah, points are doing all the heavy lifting
Mhm.
for this one, not rebounds and assists. So with points alone, 24s are widely available, and he covered this in 11 out of 15 without Ja Morant, averaging 30. I think there is one game against the Kings without Ja Morant here. He scored 28. No Ja Morant, no Aldama. That's the exact same matchup as to the one today. Overall, I think he played twice against the first game only 15 points, second game 28. I do lean over. I think he is a tremendous player, especially this season. No
Yeah.
Ja Morant. Yeah, I think it's big. It will be good.
Okay. And another one for this game, Luke Kennard, 8+ assists at plus 450.
I could see him being like if they start to doubling Bane, I think could see Kennard being like the guy handling the ball a lot. And Scottie Pippen uh, is questionable. So if he's out, like they are really thin on creation, so it will be Kennard doing heavy lifting on the ball.
Okay. We've got, I think, 5 or 6 more here. Jelko asks about DeMar DeRozan over 21.5 points at minus 111.
I like this for him, but just Jaren Jackson Jr. coverage probably, and or maybe not. I don't know. But great matchup. But I don't know if they double him. Like they usually tend to double opposing best players, and he could get some doubles here. Then it becomes tough. But overall, I would lean over as well. 21 and a half. This is going to cost 22 probably.
Okay. Nikola Jokic over 12.5 rebounds at minus 110.
Yeah, Golden State Warriors are a great rebounding matchup at the five, especially against Draymond Green. Uh, though he'll be outside a lot, and he will be hedging the pick and rolls against Steph a lot, so he'll be far away to contest the rebounds. Especially looking not healthy like last couple of games and really exhausted. So I don't know. Again, slightly lean over makes sense. But other than that, I can't do much.
Okay. And next we have Dennis Schroeder over points plus assists at minus 108.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a bit about this one. Like I don't know. Can't even look at it. It's not up for me.
Okay. 3 more, and then question about props madness. Dakuchi Bets ask about Alperen Şengün, 6+ assists at plus 130.
Great matchup for assists. Nurs could send some doubles on him, which can probably be a good thing for assists. Uh, he won't play probably any fourth quarter minutes, as I think. So he could cover, but
The
as I
blowout
said,
risk.
blowout risk just cancel out any volume on the place for me.
2 more. Donovan Clingan under 10.5 rebounds, minus 120.
Yeah, I don't like that one. Wizards are historically bad rebounding team, like one of the worst
Yeah,
rebounding teams we ever seen. So Donovan Klingon lately has been grabbing rebounds. Last 3 games he played 30,
yes,
34,
a lot.
32 minutes. So when he's playing like 26 plus minutes, he averaged 13 rebounds a game, and now gets the best matchup. I'll probably lean over on this. Look at this as well. Like last 10 games, 8 bigs covered against the Wizards. Uh, he had 19 against Houston, 20 against Denver. Those are like one of the most difficult rebounding matchups. 12 against the Knicks, the number one rebounding team in the league. The Denver probably third best in the league. The Raptors are terrible, but he still ended up 14.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
Pirtle was playing, to be fair, a lot of
yeah,
minutes, but yeah,
think he had a ton of offensive
a
rebounds.
lot against Orlando Robinson and Colin Castleton.
So like Alex Sarr,
Yeah.
he's just huge. He's just huge out there. I'm a huge fan of Klingon. I
Yeah.
think he's absolutely
Klingon is pretty
amazing.
good.
Yeah, rebounding and defense, one of the best in the league.
Last player prop question: Miles McBride, Deuce McBride, over 4.5 assists at -115 for the Knicks.
I do lean over. I looked into this one since Branson got gone out. He had 7, 6, 7, 5, and 4, 7, 10, 10, 7 potential assists, 50 passes in all the games. 50 passes. Like he's the main initiator if he is getting 50 passes made per game. When he gets 40 plus, he's over in every game. Now he gets over 50. Like of course there is a strong correlation with passes made and assists made, and I could lean over on this, especially with FanDuel having -136.
Okay. Keep prop madness open
Yeah,
because
yeah,
AJ
yeah.
Walker wants to know how you read the blue lines on. So
So,
you can
for
see the line graph
example,
there.
so the blue line represents the filter that's on. Like for now, it's minutes. So if you look at the blue line, it represents minutes. This is here. You can look here. That I'll zoom in a bit. So this shows like scale of minutes, like 40, 30, 20, 10, and the blue lines is showing the trend of minutes. So if you look at here, when you hover over on the graph, you can get that this showing like blue part is showing minutes and 30. This game minutes and 39 overtime. This is minutes and 28. For example, this is now minutes. We can go like to rebounds. This is now rebounding chances. This now blue line changes from minutes per game to rebounding chances per game. So now you can see that this game he had a ton of rebounding chances, 30, and then in this game he had like 9. And you can see the trend. Like this is also new scale, 30, 25, 20, and blue line just represents dots connected with how many rebounding chances he had. You can do the same as opponents' rebounds allowed. Now the blue line represents the rank of opposing teams in rebounds allowed. We can see the Bulls, for example, are the highest, and they are ranked 29th on opponent rebounds allowed. And you can see the exact number when you hover over the graph. Hope that
Right
helps. Yeah.
there, that should be helpful for that. Last question, never done. Bear Commander Go Bears asks, how do you decipher what players and teams are still trying hard night in, night out, how to attack them? So looking at, I mean, if you're looking at the injury reports every day, if you're following the games every day, like you're seeing the rotations, you're seeing guys getting pulled out. Like for instance, Walker Kessler played yesterday. As soon as I saw him play yesterday, I know Kyle Filipowski's starting today because there's no way Walker Kessler is playing it back-to-back. So if you're following it every day, you kind of just pick up on these things. You look at standings, you can see where teams are placed. But like Portland, you look at their rotations. Their starters close every game still. They're still trying to win. The Raptors, half the games, they yank their starters with 5 minutes left, sometimes 8 minutes left. So it's just following the league, and you just pick up on these things. What do you have an answer for this, Pips?
I think you kind of covered it well. Not much to add, just following the games day to day rosters and some trends. Like sometimes even when you see like Tatum playing 42 minutes and the next game is some like game where the Boston are like 15.5 favorites, he'll probably sit. They won't put it up full. They'll say he's questionable with some bullshit injury, and then he'll just be rested.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can read that stuff. And the bookies are they're kind of doing something to like protect themselves, but I would say not enough if you can read the board.
They sit somewhere, like for a Tatum example, they'll sit somewhere in the middle, maybe leaning more towards him being out. But if your confidence he's out is greater than their confidence, then you might be able to find some edges like that. But that'll do it for the show today. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. hopefully the start of another winning week on the Board YouTube channel presented by FanDuel. Here are the 4 picks for today. First of all, we have Jalen Duren over 25.5 points plus rebounds. We played at -115. It was available -110 all the way up to -125. All good to take, but we'll play at -115 for the show. Next up, Tobias Harris over 14.5 points. While we gave it out, it was like -110 in this spot, then -125, kind of back and forth. So hopefully you were able to get -110, but we played it for the show at -120, which was widely available at the time. Next up, our SGP, Chicago against Utah. Nikola Vucevic, 15-plus points, and Trey Jones, 6-plus assists at +113 at FanDuel. And finally, Luka Doncic over 8.5 assists, widely available in multiple spots at +100. Thanks so much, everybody, again for tuning in. Let's hope for a good day here. Make sure you do hit the like button before you go. If you enjoyed and you're tailing the picks, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're live tomorrow morning, as we are every weekday morning for the rest of the season, where there are NBA games to discuss. We hope to see you at the next one here on the Board YouTube channel.